Yeah, I really hate fucking black guys, people. Sprained my fucking wrist. No joke. Alright. Welcome back, everybody. This is HFKSDFJ. Yeah, as it stated, I did sprain my wrist on some black guys. Basically, what happened was I had some errands to run, and while after the last stop, I decided I had taken the bus to get to my first stop, the place I had to go to, because it had been crappy weather. It was cold. There was a decent amount of ice, and it was a little before noon. And I had a few things to carry because I was going to a half-price books to sell some stuff and doing a few others. But once I had gotten everything done, I was leaving my last stop, and I decided to walk back because I could use the exercise. Well, due to it had been snowing a lot lately, and this is all happened on Wednesday, by the way. I went over this mountain of snow, and due to how it's been, there was a decent amount of ice on sidewalks, so it would affect my footing. And I have a habit of when there's ice on the ground, looking at the ground so I can keep track of my footing. So that's what I was doing, and just as I went over this mountain, I noticed some ice, but I was already taking my next step. And when my foot hit, it automatically started slipping because I couldn't get a good read with my eyes of how it was angled. I had seen that area on my way to the store because I'd walked up to it, but I didn't see anything. It was literal black ice, and I was just basically able to see the outer edges of it, and that was pushing it. And I didn't realize it was more like a mound. That was how bad it was. So my foot slipped, and I kind of started going forward, and I wanted to regain my balance. And while I was doing that, my foot fully gave, and I just fell basically on my butt. Well, my left arm went straight down, hit the ground hard. Between the elbow bone and the arm bone, that little funny area, the gap between your bones and your elbow, I hit that when I went down. But the ball of my thumb, basically the joint that connects the thumb and palm and your hand, hit the ground hard. Both of those were hurting, and so I just got up, went home, and it didn't feel too bad at the time, but I was like, this fucking hurts. I was going to get an ice pack on my hand because it was just sore. So basically I got home, and due to my home was warm, that's when after a bit, and after I put my hand under cold water for a bit, because the pain around my thumb actually kind of skyrocketed. So I did that, got an ice pack, put my stuff away, went down. But basically by that point I started noticing that the other end of my wrist was hurting. Say you were wearing a watch on your left hand. Imagine it riding up directly to your hand. That end, the bone that would be right about there, if it was real tight, it would start digging in. My watch was a bit on the loose side. I haven't gotten it, the wristband adjusted, because you need to take it into a store. It's one of those like link ones. So I haven't done that, even though I should have done it long ago, just never got to it. Basically, when I fell, it slid at an angle, so it basically drove itself right into that area. And I mean, that still hurts now, but not as much unless like I prod it or I move the wrist certain ways in that area. I feel more pain at that point of my thumb. So basically what happened was that started hurting. I decided I would try and just like get this, deal with it, everything. And I didn't know if it was like did I just really hurt myself, did I injure the like sprain, did I even thought it was possible I bruised my bones. I didn't think it was a fracture, a break, or a crack of the bone. Didn't feel that painful. And believe me, I should know, when I was between 4 and 6, broke my right elbow. My parents wanted to kill the doctor because he honestly kept bending my arm saying no, there's no break, until he was shown a fucking x-ray. I'm actually glad I don't remember the pain from that. But in my between 12 and 14, I had basically broke my left forearm. It was basically considered a break. It almost went all the way through, but wasn't a full break. So I had to deal with that. And so it didn't feel like the pain I felt from either time, but it was still sore. And I just thought it would just maybe it would sore from that, and it would get down, and that I might have to go to like an urgent care or something like that in the morning, depending on how bad it got. So I basically text a couple relatives because I don't drive. And like one time I've been to urgent cares, and like before I injured my wrist, I had gone to one before, and they wanted me to get a I forget if it was an MRI or a CAT scan. So I had to do there, since I didn't know what all possibly. I expected at least an x-ray. I didn't know what all they might else want, so I just riding buses, the local bus transport system wouldn't cut it. It would be too expensive. I had texted a couple relatives who I knew would more than be willing to do it. One of them contacted me actually stating they were nearby, and that they weren't that far away, and asked me if I wanted to just do it now. And I basically went, yes, since you're already up here, and how it's most of my relatives that can come to visit on a regular basis, I'm actually further away than any of their works from them. I'm further north of them. So it actually helped them out, and they took me, got some and basically went in, and before I got an x-ray, the doctor there admitted I at least sprained my fucking wrist. So they basically said they'll get an x-ray. Basically everything went, I did it, and they basically said they'll call me and tell me what it was. They said 2 to 4 hours. I guess they closed before they got the results back. So on Thursday morning, eventually I got a call and they said it wasn't a fracture or a break, and that I had just sprained my wrist real good. So, basically for like the next couple of weeks, my wrist is going to hurt. Now, it's not going to fully stop me from gaming, alright? When I broke my left forearm, in the beginning I had a cast. And then a brace, one of those arm braces that help stabilize those medical ones. So, and I was gaming in that, and this was with the original DualShock controller from the PlayStation 1. I could do that. Since the DualShock 4 is basically the same controller, not impossible, but due to the main pain is with my thumb, it can be painful, so like Fallout, I might not be doing it and everything, but part 2 of the Siren playthrough for the modded playthrough of Fallout 4 will be uploaded. It's already recorded. I did that before I had injured my wrist, but it's just like I can't guarantee an upload on those days I stated, because the pain might be worse some days than others. It shouldn't really hamper my playtime, so it should be fine. And like, to give you an example of like how bad it was, before I went to urgent care, take a normal pop can that is 12 fluid ounces or 355 milliliters, one that's about half full or 2/3 full, right in there. Just using my left hand, I could not hold it in the air. It caused too much pain. Even now, my left hand has trouble fully gripping without getting in a lot of pain my shoelaces to tie them. So they're basically the way, like, if I were to signify the pain of my fingers in an order, the most painful will be my thumb, and then it will be my ring finger and pinky together, and my middle and index are basically fine. It's just like, even holding the controller normal, if I don't at least support my arm in some way, like if I were just holding it in the air, it could start hurting eventually. It's just easier for me to be supporting it, like laying it against something. So I can do gaming. It's just, I'm giving you a heads up, for the next few parts I can't guarantee they'll be uploaded regularly, because like, if my hand literally starts hurting a lot, I'm not going to be playing. I mean, I didn't game at all Thursday or the rest of Wednesday. I basically just watched videos and read because my hand hurt. I either constantly had it under an ice pack to deal with the swelling and to keep it down, because like for the first day or two you don't want to use heat. So I constantly had it under an ice pack, or the brace I got from the urgent care. If like my hand was getting too cold due to its winter, I just didn't want to deal with constantly a cold hand, so I was alternating between a couple ice packs I had, and and occasionally just give my hand a break from and put it in the brace, because it helped keep my hand straight with my forearm. Like, if it's bent in any ways, I feel constant pain to varying degrees, depending on how it's going. Like, if I were just to go, hold your arm, your forearm, hand, and fingers out straight, and then just twitch your wrist so it goes straight down. So basically your pinky would start going down to the ground. That's actually less painful than all the others positions, but I still feel constant pain. I can, and even holding the fingers out straight causes some pain constantly, but not as much as like bending my wrists. It's more comfortable to keep all my fingers bent to varying degrees. The closer to a fist I am, the more comfortable, the less pain I'm in. So it's very, I was just in a decent amount of pain. I still am. I mean, when I was capturing all this gameplay, I wasn't using the brace, didn't have it on the eyes, and even recording this, I wasn't. But I still heard it. A bit. It's just, I cannot guarantee a constant, the regular uploads right now, due to how my hand hurts. It just, I'm sorry. I mean, I was like annoyed that I had injured it, and like, because like being in constant pain, which is a pain in the ass, especially with the thumb, because of I like the game, and in fact I wanted to when I had finished shopping, I wanted to get back and play some Fallout 4, and that annoyed me. And it's just like, I was just very annoyed that it was going to be hard to gain with my wrist like that and my thumb. So I wanted to give you guys this update on my condition. It's not bad or anything, it's just like, if my wrist is really hurting, even after taking Tylenol and ibuprofen, which a funny thing, before I went to the urgent care, that was within less than 1 hour from the actual injury. I'd taken 4 Tylenols because of the sheer pain, and normally urgent cares, you don't know how long they're going to be. I was just lucky on Wednesday to get in and out. I really was. Normally, you're not. Even, it doesn't matter if you make an appointment or not. You are generally waiting at least half a fucking hour. So, that was kind of a mistake, but I was just in too much pain to really give a shit. Where I rather insure it. So, I have ibuprofen now, and I'm generally taking 2 a day just to help cope with it. It's doing better than what the Tylenol extra strength was. So, at least all this is out, and I will talk to you all later.
Third squad, begin your assault.
My God.
Godzilla has gone down.